What do you think the common mistakes are?
No follow-up. I think that's what I see.
From the entrepreneur?
I see that, and I'm seeing what a lot of people do, and I've seen, since I'm a networker, I introduce some people that I know to some of the investors I know. And, one of the things that I do is I like to follow up with the people that I referred.
Yeah.
And I say, how did it go with Steve? And they say, Steve never got back to me. And I go back to Steve and I say, why didn't you get back to him? Oh, I got busy. And I think that's the key is that the follow-up is probably the number one thing that I see people failing on. And I think that goes down to anything, sales, sales or, funding.
Do you think it's because, let's say you introduce me to an investor and through an email intro and I respond and that person maybe just is busy and they didn't respond. Or we had one phone call, and then I followed up with a thank you or whatever, but basically the investor just didn't communicate back. Do you think people are just like dropping the baton because they're just like, okay, this investor doesn't want to talk to me?
No, I've literally seen that they don't even follow up after the introduction.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's not common. It's happening, but the other side of it is being prepared for any question.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to sit on other people's pitches and things like that or Q&A enough to really see, but I can tell from certain conversations I have with people, if they are asking me certain questions about how I manage my pipeline and they're trying to collect money right now, they probably shouldn't be asking for money. It's too early. They need to have that organized. If they're saying, how did you do your sales model? How do you have your burn rate? Those things. And I think if you've been on the funding trail for 6 months, it's obvious why you're not getting anything. You should be prepared. Those are the questions that get asked. How long is this? What's your runway? What's your sales model? What are your channels? You have to have all that stuff lined up.
Yeah.
And I think it's follow through and being prepared are definitely the key things that I've seen.